Hello Aries, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your July 2022 monthly check-in reading for you. So what do we need to know for the sign of Aries? What's going on for Aries? If you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana and then clarify from there. So what do we need to know for Aries? We have the death energy. So a certain situation in your life is coming to a complete end. No matter how much you want to hold on to a situation, death comes for everything, everyone, okay? So every relationship has a time period. Every life has a time period. Everything that you do has a time period. So it's kind of like, you fall in love with someone and then you fall out of love, or you get this job and then you get fired, or you leave the situation, or you retire. Everything has a cycle to it. So there is an ending right here. Now let's look at the Revelations Tarot. But it's important to understand that the angel is also death, right? So the angel of death. And God is in control of death. God is the only person who knows when people die. That's what it says in the Bible, at least. And you have to understand that tarot is heavily, heavily based in Catholicism, okay? So the original artwork of the cards that were made in the 1500s were made in Italy, right? And so everything within that artwork, everything that they made for the major arcana or the major secrets, because that's what arcana means in Latin, is secrets, or Italian. So everything about them is heavily steeped within biblical references. So the angel of death is someone who is controlled by God. God sends out the angel of death to end a situation. So it doesn't always have to be bad. You just have to see things from a different perspective. I think that's what's important for you, Aries, is understanding that you need to see something from the light instead of the shadow aspect of something, okay? So let's look at death. We have the Tower, the World, and the Two of Wands. Wow, this got dark. I'm actually going to not use the Vintage Tarot. I'm going to use the Vampire Tarot. So you're going to have sudden realization of something right here with this Tower, okay? It's kind of representation of the Tower of Babel. And I said this, I believe, in your last reading. The Tower of Babel was a tower that tried to reach up to the skies, right? People around the world came together to build this tower to reach up to God. God said no, and he struck the tower down. Here's the thing that's important to understand about the initial artwork that they made in the 1500s with the tower, is that it was the sun, the actual sun card, striking the tower with lightning. So illumination causing this tower to fall. So the highest power, the highest energy source that we have, causing the tower to fall. And through that, that caused destruction and calamities, because then everyone's language changed, right? So death over this tower, death over this construct or this structure right here that you've been trying to build throughout your life, or maybe that you are living in right now. And when I talk about living within a situation, I'm not talking about your house or your car or anything. I'm talking more or less like the situations that you have around you where you feel safe and secure, okay? You have to understand that it also represents, building your tower as the foolish man, building it on something that is not solid. With this World, this represents the completion of a cycle. So death in this tower is the completion of this cycle. So I kind of feel like, how I said everything has like that time period? That's what this is with this World. It is the timeline. So there is a destruction happening with this World energy. Death is coming for the world. Now here's the thing with this Two of Wands. Sorry. The Two of Wands is saying that you can move on from this. You can go somewhere else. Or maybe you have already done that. So you're not wherever this is right here. Or maybe when this happens, it allows you to free yourself from a situation. So I don't see you being hurt because you have new beginnings with the Two of Wands. You're looking at the globe saying, where can I go next? But here's the thing, Aries, you also have to understand, I don't know if you can really go anywhere, because everywhere you go, there is also this destruction. I kind of feel like this is more symbolic to the way the world is going right now. There's a lot of destruction happening around the world. But let's clarify the Tower energy. I forgot to bring my tea upstairs, so sorry. Actually, I might just go get that water bottle if I keep up, so. We have the World energy coming out, the Tower, and the Two of Wands. So the Tower first. So let's clarify this. we have the Lord of Cups, and we have the Two of Scepters. So this is kind of representation of someone else walking away from your life right here. Someone else is saying, I don't want to be in this tower anymore. I'm leaving. So someone else in your life is cutting this out. This is a Scorpio placement, but also you have to understand that Scorpio co-rules the tower with you. So two people in this tower, and one of them is saying, bye, I'm out. But also the Lord of Grails is someone who is very emotional. He likes to give his cup of love to people. And when I talk about the cup of love, I'm not talking about in just a sexual way. The cup of love is representation of he is very solid within his emotions right here. So a very solid emotional person is leaving a situation, and that's causing the destruction. They're no longer wanting to be in this tower anymore. And maybe this is something that you have to realize right here. Maybe someone is coming back into your life. So with the two wands coming out, this is representation of two people deciding to leave and letting the tower fall at the same time. Now, what is this world? So let's look at this. Completion of a cycle. The Eight of Knives and the Two of Knives. You could not see that you're actually stuck in this situation and you're not happy. You're pretending to be happy in this tower. But you don't want to leave. And so actually the best thing that can happen for you, Aries, is that someone else says, I'm leaving. And so they leave the situation, and that frees you from whatever's going on here. Because now you are capable of leaving the situation and moving on to something else that makes you happy. So this is a severing of a relationship. Doesn't have to be a loving relationship. It could be with friends, family members, whatever. This can be, differences within opinions right here. The Two of Wands, let's look at this. The Daughter of Scepters and the Chariot's energy. Here's the thing though, it makes you feel young and vibrant again when this happens. Because it's almost as though you're lifted away in the chariot. Like this is meant to happen, okay? Because you have to understand that the angel of death is still an angel, and the chariot is kind of representation of an angel as well. It represents the prophet who never died. So the prophets, if we look at it from the biblical references of the cards themselves, what the chariot represents is those two prophets who never died. And then when they look at the book of Revelations, the two prophets are going to have to come back to earth and then prophesy at the Wailing Wall again, right? And then people will kill them because it says in the Bible it's appointed unto men once to die, right? So that's the whole point, is that they have to come back to earth so that way they can die because they were brought up into the clouds. But what I'm seeing right here, Aries, is that with this Daughter of Scepters and this Chariot is that it is a victory because you cheated death. Because they essentially will have to come back down. But the promise of them coming back down to earth is that after they get killed, they get brought back to life. So they're coming back down, and for 3 years they can preach destruction and tragedies upon the world. People will get sick and tired of them doing that, go and kill them. They'll leave them in the streets, their bodies in the streets for, I think, 3 or 4 days, and then they come back to life. God brings them back to life. So essentially they cheated death twice. So this is cheating death right here. But it's not cheating it. It's this. It's just saying that the cycle is complete. It's time for you to move on to something else. But you have a victory because it doesn't hurt you. That's the thing about this, is that the cycle is coming to a close. Like, the prophets did leave the earth, but they got into the chariot and the chariot carried them away. So when you think about that, they did have to leave a situation, but they went on to something much better. That was their victory, is that they didn't die horribly and painfully like most people during that time period did, right? So you have victory and you feel vibrant with this Daughter of Scepters. It feels like a fiery, passionate new beginning. You're just like, this is the best thing that could have happened to you. Someone else leaving a situation frees you from something you've been trapped in for so long. This Eight of Knives means that you're doing the same thing over and over and over. And the Two of Swords is saying you don't want to look at what you're doing because you're blocked off to the actual truth. Let's look at this King of Cups right here. The Four of Knives and the Two of Cups. So the Four of Knives represents going to peace. And then the Two of Grails represents finding a new passionate connection with something else. Or someone else. So this could represent that, in a way, say, for example, someone is divorcing someone, right? And you're single. They're divorcing, they're leaving a situation. After they divorce them, you kind of meet this person, like the mundane life that you've been living is changing right here. However, on the other hand, this could represent that, you know, maybe you have a fair weather friend within your life, okay? And, you know, you only hang out with them because you feel bad for them. You really don't like them, but you're like, whatever, okay. But every time you hang out with them, you feel dull. You feel just stagnant. And then all of a sudden, they want to take a break because they've met someone new. They have a new friend, they have a new boyfriend, whatever. But that makes you so happy because you don't have to end the situation. Because if you ended it, you may have been this person's only friend. And then you would feel really badly, right? But because they ended the situation, because they found something else that they liked, you feel much happier over here because it's the best thing that could have happened to you. You cheated the fact. Ooh. What else is coming out for Aries? The Five of Grails, the Four of Skulls, and the Emperor. There's no use crying over spilt milk. Let it go, because you are about to receive a much higher abundance. Because the Emperor is someone who's blessed by the angels. He's put into authority by the angels. You have to understand that the Emperor is also a representation of, there's a biblical verse that says, do not curse your leaders or something like that. The effect goes, I don't remember how it actually goes, like the actual verse itself, but the effect is, don't curse your leaders, obey them because I have put them in place. And that's God speaking to humanity. So this is representation of God is placing you somewhere else. So don't feel sad about it. Don't hold on to it. It's okay. This is like a divine chariot coming. You're leaving the world, right? Like in a, I'm not saying that you are actually leaving the world, but don't feel bad about leaving whatever this is. Don't feel bad about that person. Don't feel bad about moving on with your life, okay? Yeah, you're going to have to leave certain situations, but at the end of the day, if they kept you chained within a situation, that's not a good thing, right? Because you're being placed into a different form of authority right here with the Emperor position. Now, I'm not saying everyone's going to get like the job as a CEO or a different, you know, whatever, but you're going to be placed at a higher status, an elevated status within your life. The Ten of Scepters with the Lord of Knives. And then all of a sudden you realize how much of a burden that you've been dealing with your entire existence with whatever this is. The Ten of Scepters makes you realize that you've been dealing with a heavy, heavy task right here. And the Lord of Knives says, hey, here's the information. Drop all of your wands. You're going on this chariot and you're going away. And you're like, well, I want to carry my wands. I want to hold on to everything. These are my wands. This is how I'm going to build my house. Because remember, the Ten of Scepters, he's holding 10 wands. And in the Four of Pentacles, he's holding on to his pentacles. He doesn't want to let them go. You're saying, well, if I let go of everything, what's going to happen next? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens next. The Ace of Scepters, because it's a brand new opportunity for you that's blessed by the universe right here. You're supposed to do the next step. If you look very closely, the Emperor in certain cards, he's also holding a staff, right? So this is double clarification that this is one of the best things that could happen. And the Two of Scepters coming out twice represents your energy. So you roll the 2, 3, and 4 of Scepters, or Wands, right? So if you're carrying 10 Wands, you're not supposed to. 2, 3, and 4, you're max. And if you notice right here, this is very symbolic because we have the Page of Scepters and we have the Ace of Scepters, right? Remember, I always say that the pages are blessed by the universe to receive the aces, okay? So the Ace of Pentacles is hand-delivered to the Page of Pentacles. The Ace of Wands is hand-delivered to the Page of Wands. They don't understand the amount of power and the amount of magic behind this new thing that they've been blessed with, but they know that it's shiny, it's cool, and that with time they can learn how to use it properly if they don't squander their gifts. They're being given a gift, a blessing that other people want. That's why the pages are so naive, and that's why they get taken advantage of so easily within the decks, because they don't know the power that they have. And people are wanting to take it away from them. So here's the thing. When you get this brand new opportunity, leave. Okay? Because it's divinely aligned right here. It's saying, drop your 10 scepters. Here's the magic scepter. Get into your chariot and fly away. Don't be upset by whatever this is. And if you are going through a divorce, honestly, this is the best thing that could have happened. Because at the end of the day, you're cheating a very bitter, miserable time on earth. That's what this is trying to tell you. Whatever situation is right here, that's coming to a completion with this tower. Someone else is making the decision for it to end, okay? You're actually miserable, but you're trying to make it seem okay. That's the thing about this blessing, Aries, is that the angel of God is saying, you know what? God's removed his protection around whatever the situation is. The angel goes in, removes it, moves this person away from your life, hands you a new scepter and say, go and do something else. Not here, though. And it is truly the blessing in disguise. The Fool. The Fool represents point zero, a brand new slate, a blank beginning. You're going on to a brand new slate right here, a new chapter within your life, something completely new. The Three of Skulls. The Three of Skulls represents that you have amazing work and people want to see your work. People want to see you, okay? So brand new within a new job opportunity, a new career setting. This could be a brand new place to live. Let me get you one more card. We have the Daughter of Grails. Could be a brand new loving situation. But here's the thing, don't squander your time. Okay? So let me get you a couple of spellcasting oracle cards. Compassion and willpower. Through compassion, I kind of feel like the reason that you're being blessed right here is because of your compassion with this person. You didn't want to leave and you put in your best effort to make sure that this person was happy or this thing or this situation, okay? This could be a job where you've been only working at that job because you know that your manager needs you, but you've stayed there long enough. This could be a job where, this could be a loving situation where you know that you and your spouse are just not meant to be together, but you've been doing it because of whatever reason. But they choose to leave, and you're blessed with something much better. So you're choosing to stay in something because you don't want to let it go. You're trying to work through the situation, trying to make the best out of it, trying to make someone else happy. But then the angel of death comes in and says, no, it's time for it to be over. The tower has to fall. You have to leave this situation here. They get something and you get something. So I kind of feel at the end of the day, they have a new beginning over here. So you're both going your separate ways on brand new beginnings. Maybe you don't have any animosity for one another. That's very rare, though. So maybe they have something new and you have something new on the horizon. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like anxious or animosity. It just feels like you both were trapped, or you were doing something to make someone else happy, and now they're happy and you can leave this. Maybe you're playing someone's fairy godmother for a very long time and you're just like, oh, thank God that's over. But because you stuck it out, because you did what you had to do, you get blessed with something else. Healing and clarity. You can heal and have clarity somewhere else. You can see things clearly. The scales have fallen off of your eyes. Remember, I believe I said that at the beginning of the tower energy, is that, you know, I can't remember if it was Paul. He was struck with blindness from God, and God delivered a revelation to him and then restored his sight. I think he was on the road to Damascus. Or was it Paul? I think so. And, you know, that's that lightning strike right there. That's that everything that you've thought about one thing, because he was a pagan who went around killing Christians, right? And then the tower fell, and he received some brand new epiphany, and he felt very differently about certain things within his life. He could see things clearly. That's that clarity. He could heal from the situation. He was healed of his blindness, and he saw things clearly. Like, that's what it is. Go with the flow right here. Don't try to hold on to anything. Be the jellyfish in this situation. If you can see right here, it's the jellyfish just floating on by. Sea star regeneration. So 2 water things. 2 water energies. So what I'm seeing for you is that, you know, this Scorpio energy with this Lord of Grails, with this 2 of Grails over here and this 4 of Knives. Yeah, the 2 of Grails, the Lord of Grails, which is water energy. So it's like you're both healing. You're just going with the flow. You're going your separate ways. You're regenerating from the past. You're regenerating past situations. It's okay. It doesn't have to be bitter. It doesn't have to be horrible. It doesn't have to be anything. You may feel some emotions at the beginning, but ultimately it's almost like you want this person out of your life. You just don't know how to say it. You don't know how to leave. You just feel too ingrained in whatever this is. Red squirrel, conscientious, and the lizard, survival. But here's the thing, you're just surviving in the situation. It's kind of like you understand things, but it's just going with the flow. It's kind of like, I've said this before, it's like if the world goes into like the zombie apocalypse, I'd rather just be dead, because at the same time, I don't want to live in a world where I have to, like, you know, struggle every single day. Like, what kind of life is that? Like, they're just living for survival at that point, right? I'm not saying that, you know, it would be a terrible thing to be a survivor, but they don't really have a life, if that makes sense. And I kind of feel like that's the situation right here for you, is that you're just surviving. It's not getting really any better. You're just going day by day doing what you have to do to make it work. Because at the end of the day, the red squirrel, its whole life is to 1, breed, 2, to gather food, and then 3, to go dormant during the winter time. Like, that's what its main purpose is. It's just supposed to do that entire cycle. With this lizard, its whole point is to just survive in really harsh environments. So you're going around this 8 of Swords doing the exact same thing every day, but it's not a life. Forgiveness, reducing burden. Brambrack, sweetness and synergy. So it's like you guys forgive one another. It's like you just, okay. The Brambrack, sweetness and synergy. What's important about this card, I hate explaining it because it has such a, it's like one of the longest cards to explain. So it's like a birthday cake piñata, all right? So they bake this cake, right, during these old times, during old traditions. Words are hard, right? And they would put certain things within the batter, like wedding ring, a coin, other pieces, right? And then when they cut the cake, after it was baked, they'd hand it out to certain people. And then whatever piece you got, that was supposed to be like your blessing, right? So here's the thing. It's like you're cutting the Ace of Wands and you get a brand new blessing because you just heal it from the situation. You see things clearly. You forgive whatever it is. You're like, I'm glad it's over. So we lose strength, success in all ventures, good health, and speedy recovery. So you're protected, like your health is fine. You have the strength to continue to keep going. You're going to have success, brand new success with this Emperor energy. Daggers, day, hope, relief, clarity, double clarification of clarity with this right here. Understanding and progress. The spiritual meaning is higher consciousness, mutability, and destiny. This is part of your destiny, Aries. I kind of feel like you've been working off negative karma right here, if that makes sense. Like you were in this situation and you don't leave it because it's kind of like you have a guilty conscience about leaving the situation. Like, what is this person going to do without me? What's going to happen? Blah, 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 right? So you continue to work with this person. You continue to struggle with them. You continue to whatever. And they finally leave to do something else. They want to take a break and they find something new. And you're just like, thank God, bye. And you have a brand new, you're just done with it. Like you have no emotional attachment to this anymore. And maybe you've lost emotional attachment a long time ago. Let me get you a couple of cards because I'm really curious because it's like, it's not bitter. It has a little bit of a sadness to it and you're moving on. You're just like, oh, I want to hold on to it, but there's no importance to do that. The Queen of Pentacles. Like, you're just going to have a blessing somewhere else. The Ace of Wands again. Being fertile, abundant elsewhere. You're going to be this happy, abundant, well taken care of individual, but not here. It's with this Ace of Wands. It's being handed to this Page of Wands. So there is no reason to be angry. There is no reason to fear death. Because here's the thing, the angels always have to tell people, be not afraid, right? Angels, I'm pretty sure, are scarier than demons because demons and, the devil mimic things that people like. Angels don't do that because angels don't care. If you need something from an angel, you're going to have to wrestle with them. You're going to have to be scared of them. Like, they don't have time to cloak themselves. They are the ugly truth. Not the beautiful lie, they are the ugly truth. So you don't have to be afraid of it. So, anyway, Aries, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later.